Hello, guys, and welcome to the podcast. We got
Wait.
tons of things. Oh,
I think we're all forgetting something.
well, I mean, he has something on. Oh, yep. I guess we all have to put it on now.
The tag is still on. The tag is still on. I did not take the tag off.
Okay, boys, we ready to do this podcast now? So, since the Steelers have gotten into the playoffs because of the Jaguars, yes, we didn't stop on our promise. We made it happen.
We promised. We made it happen.
Now we all have Jaguars jerseys.
Trevor Lawrence.
So let's get right on in to this podcast because it's going to be breaking down some of the hottest topics right now in the news. So let's get right on into it. Hey guys, see, right back from the intro, we are actually going into a new segment. Yes, you have heard it right here. We have a new segment. It is called What the Moments in the
WTF
NFL
moment of the week, of anything, right? This is, unfortunately, NFL this week, but it needs no further introduction. Let's just show it.
Yeah. So seeing it as you seeing it. I have a guess on what it is.
Oh boy.
Third
and 3 advantage on the Colts. Steelers lead Baltimore. A couple of scores will all be updated at the half. Interesting formation.
I mean, really, you're at the 4-yard line, and you don't feel comfortable enough in your offense to be able to run a traditional play. I mean, I get the first one when you put yourself kind of backed up inside the 1-yard line.
I mean, this is sad.
I mean, that is just a complete lack of confidence.
Now, I'm going to rewind this for you all. What is this? A QB sneak. Let's analyze for a second. We are at their own fourth yard line on a third. Let me just 3rd and 9.
Yeah.
Their fourth line. Okay. What is this formation?
It looks like the victory formation.
It is sort of, but it is a QB sneak. Okay, and you might be saying what?
Yeah.
I'm saying
WTF.
F. Plus something else that someone else wrote on there.
Sorry.
Let's do this again. Because why would they do this? By the way, their coach was fired directly after this game.
Yes.
But QB sneaks only go. Yep. Okay, sure. QB sneaks only go for like a yard or half a yard, and sometimes they don't even work. You're trying to go 9 yards with a QB sneak on your own 4-yard line.
Here. I will supply real quick because I got renaming my self here and spelling shade wrong, but I'm Shed now. I'm Shed. Don't worry. What could have worked here is they could have set up a fake QB sneak, and yes, Shed, and the quarterback could have then. Oh, I wanted to annotate, but can you
here
the quarterback, please?
There was someone who was annotating. Unfortunately.
Yes.
Oh man.
And then so you give the arrow to this dude up top here. You know what? Behind.
Here you go. I am going to allow it, and hopefully he does not screw this up.
Yes.
Don't make me regret this, Dr. SteelMen.
I like to be Shed. Okay. So as we can see here, we have. So thank you for your time, Dr. SteelMen. You are now demoted to the. So as we can see here, we have the QB. A great play would have been to roll this dude out here and do maybe a pitch up to there from the QB and kind of make this fake kind of go for that first down over here. Maybe
look at this guy. This guy right here is thinking in his head, WTF?
Yes, but I mean that could have been a better option. Have the behind guy roll out here, and then
It could be
have
some
him
sort of trickery, like
shovel
flip
it, and
to
then maybe
flip.
have Gum.
Look, you give it to this guy, who gives it to this guy, who has all of these blockers.
Or what you do is
bulldozing.
you have another guy like sit in behind here, so these guys can't see him over here, block him off, so that he just gets the ball hiked to him. Then they all push forward like so, and they just kind of wrap out.
My thoughts on this is Joe Judge is stupid. He
got
doesn't know what
fired.
he's doing.
Which that can actually lead us into our next little segment. Dr. SteelMen, feel free to stay on. You do not need to be needed anymore. If you're gonna leave, please say an outro. Okay, never.
He's gone.
He said I'm out of here.
So
Fun.
we have we want to get into this since we have gotten into the playoffs. A lot of teams have now rethinking or have rethought their coaching situation and decided to say bye-bye to them. So let's give a rundown. Can you give a rundown? Do you know all the coaches and teams?
Well, we know most of them. Let's look up.
Let's give a rundown because I believe it was Giants, Houston, and something is wrong with Houston.
First off, it was
Vikings and Dolphins.
It first started out with the Broncos.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Broncos.
Okay, I'm trying to look at all of them.
Yeah.
Here we go. We have.
It feels so weird to have like a football jersey on right now. Like I'm not used to wearing football jerseys. Plus, it's like I'm swimming in it because it's an extra large.
Okay, here we go. The head coaching jobs, obviously, we have the New York Giants, since Joe Judge, was fired. Minnesota Vikings and their GM, as well as New York Giants, because Dave Gettleman he retired, but he sucked GM anyway. So, after the Vikings, we have the Dolphins, who for some reason fired Brian Flores, which is dumb to say the least. I think there's no shot. The only reason Deshaun Watson wanted to go to Miami was really because of Brian Flores. And now, here's interesting, because the Texans interviewed him for their job. Texans also have an opening since they fired David Culley. But if Brian Flores gets the job, does Deshaun Watson be like, okay, hold up, maybe I'll stay now?
Yeah.
Or is he still like, no, I'm out of here?
I think, see, with me, really, Houston is like, so we were talking about them at the beginning of the year, like, you need this, you need that. They didn't do that. I think there's something thoroughly messed up in that organization because now, don't get me wrong, going to a better coach would be great. But the fact that you have a coach that I believe O'Brien was fired at the beginning of the year, or was it last year? No, it was this year.
We are bringing the SteelMen podcast live updates. The Buffalo Bills have scored a touchdown. Dawson Knox diving backwards on his back into the back corner of the end zone. Both feet are in. Bills up 7-0 after the Bengals
see a trouncing
already
by the Bills.
beat the Raiders. Go continue. Sorry.
Okay, so what I believe O'Brien was fired either last year or this year. I think it was last year.
The year, yes.
Yeah. So my thought is this year, like I know that Houston did bad, but like you could tell near the end of the year, I think the coach was starting to figure it out a little bit,
especially with the third round. QB.
Yeah,
rookie.
He started to fit. I think he waited a little bit. Like it seemed like it wasn't like waiting, but it was just enough wait where it was like you could tell he was starting to get things together. They were starting to get on a roll near the end of the year. And then they fire the coach. And I think it's messed up because you have a coach that comes in, works all year, and then starts to get this team starting to get together. Like they started getting together near the end because they were picking up some wins. They were getting into some battles into some games versus some bigger teams. So, I mean, look at it that way. I don't know what's happening with Houston, but yeah. But Detroit coach, I have to say, the new coach for Detroit, my
Love
man, he didn't have much to work with this year, to be honest. Didn't have a lot to work with.
Like that is
He did a pretty good job. I would say he did a pretty good job with.
He is the ultimate player coach, I would say.
He listens to the
Just like-
players what they need, and he'll take it. I think we'll see a future of Detroit being a little bit better now. I think they'll start to flow together a little bit, but it all depends
so.
on like who
They're
they pick
definitely
in the
not
draft.
going to be the worst. Yeah, drafting does
Yeah,
huge.
but we
I don't
all know
know- I
that
don't
Jets are
think-
just going to stay down there.
Probably. I mean, they did pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Okay, not pretty good. Okay.
But we all know
they'll
who
slap.
the quarterback for the Jets should be. Yes, that's right, Mike White.
Trace McSorley.
Throw it all the time.
Copyright. Shut it down. Copyright. Okay.
Okay, so back to the
continuing
coaching
on,
situation.
Chicago Bears coach and GM, and then lastly, Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, if you want to know, Miami Dolphins. You know why they fired Brian Flores? I just want to go
Why?
back to this real quick. There is one guy, and one guy only, who they think can fill that spot.
Uh-huh.
Do we know who that is? I want you to take a guess.
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh.
The other Harbaugh, Michigan.
Okay, guess again.
Nick Saban.
I am going to give you one final guess.
I'm probably so out of the ballpark here. I'm trying to think.
I have it up. I will share the answer with you here.
You know what? Shot in the dark. Freaking Franklin. I don't know.
That's it. That's it. That's it. He's done. He's done. He's done.
Are they absolute freaking idiots? Are
No,
they
it's a joke.
absolute?
It's a joke. It was a
freaking
meme. It's a
idiots?
meme. It's a meme. I would like to preface that this would never actually. It was a joke.
Yeah,
I
no.
found. I'm just a joke.
That
Just
was
kidding.
good,
It's
though.
not.
That was good.
Oh, what a funny joke. Well, I had to keep you guessing until I got the picture downloaded. So that's why I made you guess so many times. You're like, what? Keep guessing, keep going, go another one. I'm
You should have pointed me a little bit in the right direction. I mean, seriously.
Woo! Now that we're done, well, I don't know. Coaching wise, I don't know. Do you know too much about some of the assistant coaches who could come up and become coaches? The only one I really know of is Eric Bieniemy,
Yeah.
and he's the Chiefs offensive coordinator who should probably actually already have a head
Coaching
coaching
job.
job by now. But
I don't know.
want to talk about playoffs?
Yeah.
Keep
let's talk a
keep
little
with
bit about
NFL.
that.
Okay. So we have a couple things to talk about. First off, the Bengals. Second
What a win.
off, lots of players coming back. So let's
Yeah.
go with the Bengals first. A stat, if you will.
Mhm.
It has been 11,332 days, approximately 32 years
Mhm.
since the Bengals have last won a playoff game.
Oh, geez.
Today marks the first day that a person has sent a text about the Bengals
Really?
winning a playoff game. It has finally been accomplished.
Also, since we're going stats wise in the playoffs, just remember this: in the playoffs, Steelers have never
Mac Jones
lost.
throws interceptions.
Hold
Just
on,
kidding.
hold on.
It was-
Steelers have never lost an away game. Just let that sink in. Yes, they have never lost in the playoffs away. So that means that they're
They
seven.
have to go on the road every single game.
Just let
It's
that
there.
sink in for
The
about
precedent
3
has been
minutes.
set.
we're just gonna let that sink in while we give you some other facts about the playoffs, and we'll circle around back to that. We'll just circle around back. So we all know that the Raiders won, but all I have to say, Raiders won. Bengals won. Sorry,
There were a lot of bad calls
yeah,
in that game.
Okay,
I
so
think
the NFL. It's not the fact that there were bad off the wall calls, but it's some of the calls the obvious. The dude was standing in front of what happened. It was perfectly. Jamar Chase shoves number 10, and look it up. Jamar Chase shoves number 10 down the sideline and then goes catch the ball. It's in the first quarter, I think, or start of the second for one of their touchdown drives, and it just was offensive pass
and I think
interference.
the main thing people are going to be talking about is the one touchdown. I think it was to Jamar
with the
Chase.
whistle right
Joe
before he
Burrow
caught it.
scrolls out to the right. He throws it, or maybe the whistle blew right as he threw it, or the ball was in the air.
It was
one or the
okay.
other.
So he threw it. The whistle blew at least right when it hit the white line of the touchdown. So it
Okay.
was in the air, going to the dude.
And technically, the rule is if the whistle gets accidentally blown or blown during play, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's the down is incomplete pass type thing.
Mhm.
Because I guess safety or I don't even know why the whistle was blown, to be quite honest with you, but that's something people and then at the end, the roughing the passer call on Derek Carr, the guy is Derek Carr's
Yeah. It
And they
did go
call it-
helmet to
he,
helmet, but it's the one thing that from this year we can
Oh.
take away is the roughing passer calls. All of the roughing the passer calls.
I have just seen a Patriots player
Yeah.
almost complete catch of the century.
Was it the Cardinals, dude? Because I don't think
It's
anything's gonna beat that Cardinals
He
dude catch.
no, it wasn't I was blowing out of proportion. Basically, the guy's diving 3 feet in front of him and barely gets it on his fingertips, pulls it in, but as he hits the ground, it comes out.
Can we talk about that one moment in the Steelers game that allowed them to get into the playoffs? There's this one moment. Well, I shouldn't say allowed them to get in the playoffs, but could allow them to get in the playoffs. The missed interception. Do we remember that play where the dude catches it on the ground, holds it
Terrell
like that?
Emmons.
Yes, he
He
caught it.
goes up and technically because Mark Andrews touched him,
Yeah.
he was down by contact and he had possession at the time.
Mhm.
I guess if you let it go, he doesn't have possession of the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but it was one. It was also another time where a dude was diving. I can't remember who it was.
I guess
And
by
Tyler Huntley throws it.
that logic, if that would have happened, they would have had to rule out a fumble.
Yeah. I don't know. There was a few calls. There's a lot of calls this year that need to be looked over. The one thing I should say is I know that everybody dislikes the idea, but let's put a chip in the ball so we can get the exact place on the field right. Because you have the technology now where you can
where
trace,
would you put the chip though?
probably so their NFL logos and stuff. Just put it right under those because it's probably going to be a tiny chip.
Sometimes,
Mhm.
it's a game of inches.
Yeah.
So what if they do the sticks? You have it in the middle of the ball. Is that what you're talking about? In the middle of the ball?
Yeah, but if you put it in the
So if
exact
it's,
middle, here, think about it
half
this
a
way.
thing.
But if you have it in the exact middle of the ball, you can calculate how far each end is.
I suppose.
So-
The ball can spin
Yeah.
and distort itself too.
Yeah, but
That'd be an interesting idea to see.
it would be a good idea to bring it in to give a little bit more of a look at it because it would allow a lot more accuracy with it. I know it wouldn't be perfect, but if you have that option, why don't you do it? Because my one thing in soccer is that the only time that they use goal line technology where it's it's either a goal or not, where the ball's in the goal and they read it like that, they only use it in the World Cup.
First down.
They will only use it in the World Cup. They won't use it for anything else, which I think is totally
Yeah, that
stupid.
kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Money wise is probably an issue. Like, we want money for you to use our technology. Blah 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 blah.
But
We're
it's
angry old people who don't like our money being. We
But
want money.
it's-
Blah, blah, blah.
it's very it's a thing that would allow games that are so close to actually be decided like correctly, instead of having to go through wait like 3 hours just to figure out one answer. You could wait like 2 minutes, get the answer, and be done.
Yeah.
Just saying. But yeah. But with that, all debacle about refs and stuff.
Remember when I said Mac Jones throws interceptions in the playoffs?
Did he just throw an interception?
He
in the
just
playoffs?
threw an interception in the playoffs.
Mac Jones is the most hyped up, non doing anything QB I
Oh,
have
hold
ever
up.
seen.
Let's see how it was. The guy's like this,
Mhm.
catching like a loft, and freaking the Bills guy is just like, yo, wee,
And
right in front of him. Puts his hand right in front of him, and he's like, got
then
him.
Trevor Lawrence came out of nowhere and just threw a dime.
You know, it's another good football team. I don't even know if we had this on the list of topics. I just want to cover this real quick. It's another picture. So you know how the Washington football team has been struggling on their name.
yeah,
I personally think Washington football team should stick for
Stick.
now. I think I
it
like it.
works.
I
It
kind of
works.
like it now. We made fun of it at
And-
first, but it works.
And then
And,
then you get this name and like Washington Commanders.
The new logo has been leaked. What? Wow, look at the W.
Just keep with Washington
Look at that.
football team.
Look at that. Why?
Hold on.
I
Bring up a
hate
picture
that.
of Washington football team, please. Let's compare W's.
Let's just right on Google.
Washington football team. I don't care about new name. I just care about football team. Look at that clean. It's clean. Nice. Now let's go to Commanders.
This is what we're looking at here. W wise.
You know,
One thing.
I don't think I'll
Oh, no,
ever
no,
like
Reddit.
like this name. It doesn't.
Hold up. This is our jersey.
The
First look.
jersey
Okay.
looks clean, but like, what if they just didn't do Commanders and just did that design of jersey?
Like, how do you let it be leaked?
I think they did it on purpose.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
This could totally like be dragging everybody through the mud, but I believe it's true. I don't know. I don't know
How?
if it's true or not. Is this actually like
Okay, so we have
if that's really
a
the name?
potential logo here. The story here is I just read real quick.
Mhm.
It was on NBC Sports Washington. A video was like, "These are our names that we could have," blah blah blah, and it like blurred out paperwork, and then just randomly this picture with all this paperwork and the logo was not blurred out.
Yeah, it's on
because
purpose. It's on purpose.
I feel like some intern either wanted to get fired or it was on purpose.
It's on purpose. But here's
Now
my
they're
thing.
talking about it all.
Here's my thing. So you have Washington football team. Now, just think about that name. Let's sit on that name. Now, listen to this. Washington Commanders. Why don't you just go Commando? It'll make you feel like you're a little like
Washington Commando, like spies.
Frick, you could be Captain Underpants if you really
Freaking,
wanted
you
to.
know what they could do?
What?
Have like their normal red, burgundy, and the white, the regular colors Washington has. Commando, camo jersey. Maybe we get a little like black, or maybe we go like spy outfitting, like try like a black style for an alternate.
So you're just explaining Shannon. Come on.
Hmm?
You're just explaining Shannon. Come on. And
Oh,
our spy stuff.
and our
Yeah.
new alternate, we call it the Shadow Nick jersey.
Imagine
Shadow Nick 136 on YouTube. He is
I
not.
bought out. Well, imagine
They sponsor you.
like yeah, but Commanders. Why?
Commando, Washington Commando. I like it.
Going from Washington football team, which just rolls off the tongue, to Washington Commanders, just it doesn't have the ring.
Yeah. We're gonna go to the studio with another update from the Bills Pats game. No, nothing scoring wise or turnover wise. I just want to let everyone know that the Bills they're controlling this first quarter of action right now. They're running all over the Patriots. The Patriots can't do anything defensively. Offensively, the Patriots had a relatively good drive going. Bills got that turnover because of a Mac Jones play that was kind of forced.
Yeah.
I'd like to say. But so far, Josh Allen doing pretty good.
Yeah. Well, might as well okay. So here, final thoughts on this Commanders thing.
Yes.
I think they should have sat with Washington football team for a few more years and really took some time to look into names, to look into logos, to look into jerseys, and figure out what worked. Because Commanders, it just seems like, to me, this seems a little rushed. Like, if you look at it, like, the jerseys don't, but I think they had the jerseys in mind. I think they already kind of decided on the jerseys. I think Commanders, the name, the logo, and everything about that was rushed. I have a feeling it was rushed. Because they were under pressure saying that they were going to come out with a name. And I think that's what ended up happening. And it ended up being this.
I mean, they could have picked any date.
I know, yeah. They could have. But I think they rushed themselves.
I feel like you kind of want to focus on the draft. You don't want to spend.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the name. Okay.
But it's also like get it right though. It's also kind of like get it right.
You know what? I am
what? Okay.
Curious. Let's see. Washington football team names.
Here's my thought.
Every potential name.
Okay, give me potential names. I'll list out some of the names that could be better.
Okay, and I know they took out 2 names, so I'm gonna look out that real quick.
So let me set the scene for mine. So we all know that every real Redskin or name kind of continue like Indian, like Cleveland Indians are now Cleveland Guardians, but it doesn't have the same ring to it. But what if you did this? You did the Cleveland Commanders and you did the Washington Guardians.
Guardians? Like Cleveland Guardians?
So you have the Cleveland Guardians, but the Cleveland takes the name of the Commanders, Cleveland Commanders, on the baseball team. And then you have the football team of Washington do Washington Guardians. It just sounds better. And then you could do so much more because Guardians would make sense for Washington, D.C. because then you have like protecting the White House or like the United States of America and do like have it like that. And then maybe like since they were trying to tie like with the Guardians, they were trying to tie with the city of Cleveland, how they fought. Maybe they could do Commanders where they command their own respect. See my thinking
Okay.
here?
So
It would just be better. But
the names, they took out Wolves and Red Wolves, so I'm going to
Yeah.
take those out. We then have about 7.
Washington Spiders, is that in there?
We have the Red Hogs, the Defenders, the Armada, Armada, the Presidents, the Brigade,
Brigade! Washington
Brigade,
Brigade! Oh
the
my gosh!
Commanders,
They passed
and the
that name up?
the Brigade. I like the
Oh,
Brigade.
what a name that could have been. Washington Brigade coming versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the
I like
next
that.
Sunday Night Football. Like, look at that. Hear
Brigade!
that. Oh my gosh. What were other ones? Sorry. Cut you off.
I'm looking up what Armada is
Mhm.
because I never heard of that before.
Armada?
It
Oh.
is a product line. It looks like it is just a word for army,
Okay, I went for Army. Okay.
pretty much.
But
Red Hogs.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
don't be
that.
Arkansas.
Defenders. It's going to be Commanders though, which is
Hold on,
unfortunate.
hold on. Listen
I'm
to
hoping
these
maybe
two
they're
different
tricking
names.
us. And it's
Tell me
Brigade.
which one you like. If you heard this and you're Washington, Washington Commanders. Doesn't sound so bad, but doesn't sound too good. Washington Brigade.
The Brigade.
The
think it
like
rolls better.
connotation, like
Brigade,
it's not the fact like
Brigade.
you want to sound
name.
scary with a name. Like you want to sound scary with a name, kind of. You want it to represent things. But like if you have this like feeling like you want to draw
I
attention
feel like
to NFL,
Commanders is definitely one of the better
Yeah.
names on the list.
Yeah.
I just like
but
Brigade
here
and
this.
football team.
So you have this. Next up is the divisional rounds of Sunday Night Football. Yes, you heard me right.
Sunday
Division.
Night Football on
It's
NBC.
It's
Eagles
the
and
Philadelphia
Brigade going
Eagles
1, 2, and 3.
versus the Commanders. And then you have it like this. Sunday Night Football on next one. It's the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Brigade. Yes, you heard me right. The Washington Brigade. Like you can announce that so much better.
Please welcome your Washington Brigade.
Brigade. Oh, they passed up on it. They passed up on it. Well, speaking of things that are being passed up, let's talk about the Colts and how the heck they have failed on passing up on a playoff spot because the Jacksonville Jaguars decided to mess them up. So you have WTF happened with the Colts from worst to best to worst. So
They were
do you
the
want to
worst team,
explain
to the best,
this?
to the worst. Okay, well, I actually have some insider information. Not really. Basically, I watched that. If you didn't know, the Indianapolis Colts were on in-season Hard Knocks.
I saw that. Yes.
So I saw the final episode. I watched it. And it goes, Hard Knocks, but they're like looking through and like you get to see how they prepared for the game. And all the coaches are like, "Oh, this is going to be a dogfight to the death," and the players are like, "Oh yeah, we gotta be ready," and "Oh yeah, we gotta be ready." It sounds so serious, but I have a feeling like there's a lot of people who are like, "It's an easy game," but like when you hear them talking, they're all just they were so serious, and like the coach,
Yeah.
essentially like the defensive guy, he was just like, it's gonna be a really good fight, and they're gonna come at us with everything we got, and we gotta be prepared. This is their if we can't make it to the playoffs, they're not making the playoffs. And,
Newsflash.
I guess all the
Jaguars
players were like,
came at them with all they got, and guess what Colts
Because
did?
none of them were-
Folded.
none of them were really talking about playoffs. I mean, in the interviews, the guy's like, "Oh, no, this is gonna be my last regular season sack until the playoffs."
Oh.
And then Jaguar.
Like,
Hold on a second.
if you watch the game,
Yeah. Well,
the
Yeah, there
yeah.
we are. Back. Hello.
Yeah.
Cool.
the voice is like 100% better somehow. I don't know how you just got that. That's crazy. Okay, but if you watch the game,
Bob. Okay. Well,
That works. That is like so much clearer voice wise.
this is
Yeah.
really.
Before you were like.
I don't understand this. Okay. Well.
Okay, but if you watch the game, the Colts, Jonathan Taylor, the leading rusher, literally could do nothing.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz reverted to the bad Carson Wentz that we've seen before, throwing 3 interceptions. When the game is squarely on him at this point, when you don't have a rushing game, it's really on the QB to produce some offense, and he just couldn't do that. Defensively wise, Trevor Lawrence, he had probably his best game of his career. He went crazy. Oh, by the way, it's 14-0 Buffalo. I don't know how I didn't know that. Bucks Pats Super Bowl after all. Ooh. Okay, but
Watch Eagles win too. Eagles and Bills both win.
I feel like there must have been something on that we didn't see.
Yeah.
Within them that they didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
But it seemed like they were.
I mean, yeah. To be honest, I think it was the greatest opportunity for the Steelers to really strike. And that they kind of did. but as we all know, the story pans out. Colts then and so now we had to get Jaguars jersey. Now, my quotes during watching each and every game: I don't want to get a Jaguars jersey. I don't want to get a Jaguars jersey constantly as everything was going down. But yeah. So moving on from that, I would like to say we're going to move from one sport to the same sport, but younger. And we're going to talk about this hilarious interview on Good Morning America. My man, the Georgia freaking quarterback. Now, for context, Georgia won versus Alabama. You probably all know
you
that.
Didn't know that.
We'll give it to you here.
What
are you doing?
What happens after you win a national championship? Do you go back to your hotel room, or do you stay up all night partying?
I would say stay up all night partying.
Into the next day, actually.
Yeah. Into the next day. Oh, and don't worry, he didn't get much sleep. They were talking these were the stupidest questions you could ask in an interview. Yeah. But this is the stupidest questions you can ask a drunk person in an interview. My man was hammered. He was so hammered. It was ridiculous. Oh, it was funny. Oh, but we're coming up on our intermission soon. So you guys stick around.
The interview, if we would like to see it then.
Yeah, we will come back from intermission and we will see this interview. So, peace. Love y'all.
Shalom.
We'll be back in shortly. Get a drink. Get some nice, get a nice time. Read a book. Whatever you feel like. So, we'll see you real soon. So, welcome back from whatever you were doing. And let's together go question by question here. We will break it down question by question for you so we don't get copyrighted. But on Good Morning America, one of the best sports ever. So let's go to the
live Stetson. Good morning, my friend. How you feeling this morning after that incredible performance?
Just look at his face.
Okay, so we can already tell by the face, the actions. My man is out of it. Like, really? So I don't really feel like being here. I'm tired. I drank on tequila yesterday.
Him.
I got whiskey.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Oh, those girls last night, man. Oh yeah.
Have you had a chance to get any sleep?
A few hours. Not many. I've been wondering about. Not many.
Pause here. You can already tell by him going,
He's just like,
nah, not many.
yeah.
He's so out of it that he didn't realize that he was probably
is 7 in the morning.
blackout drunk at that point when he got sleep. Let's put quotation marks, sleep. He was blackout drunk. There's no doubt about it.
Stetson Bennett. Why did I say Jordan Fletcher?
He
Who is Jordan Fletcher?
I don't know.
Now I need to know that. Okay.
Okay, well, yeah, he did not get any sleep. He was blackout drunk at one point. So, and as we can see Betty White died from a stroke, suffering
Plenty of
6 days
time
before
to sleep. Congratulations, and what a story! Not just the Bulldogs, but
Jumping
you.
into
I
an
mean,
icy
you
Colorado
start your
pond.
career there
Yeah.
in
You 3
Georgia.
kids.
You're a walk-on. You transfer to a junior college. You come back to Georgia. You know, so many people overlooked you. What have you learned
Congress.
about yourself
weather.
during this trip?
Well, you know, I think I'd always had a pretty constant view about myself. I think I learned that life's hard. You know, you gotta work for what you want.
Something else is hard too.
Yourself, just like, you know, all you guys, just
I'm
like
kidding.
Michael and, you know, everybody here, everybody who's ever been successful, you got to bet on yourself. You know, and other people might put in some, you know, change on the odds, but, you know, that never matters. You got to work hard, love the people who's around you, they got to love you, and bet on yourself.
Oh yeah, people gonna. Okay.
The way he's saying it, it's okay. I mean, what he's saying is okay. The way
Yeah.
he's saying it, it's just like.
Okay, here's also my problem is why is Good Morning America asking these stupid butthead questions?
So what are you talking about?
Like, okay, so I know that second one was worded in a way that it sounded like a smart question, but it like the way they said it was, well, so you transferred and then came back as a walk-on and took over quarterback. What did you learn? Like, how about you ask, like, how was your adventure from going from just a walk-on there, transferring out of Georgia, not really thinking you're going to get anywhere with Georgia, coming back, actually being surprised when you come back, take the Georgia team to a championship win. How does that feel? Like, that question, like, is loaded, like, a little bit worded, like, slightly differently, but it's so much better to ask. Like, well, okay, so at least Alabama didn't win. That's all I have to say. At least Alabama didn't win.
Yes, we know you do not like Alabama.
Yeah. Alabama.
You hate Alabama.
Alabama is
I
guaranteed a
hate
spot here.
Alabama.
Oh, did you hear that the playoffs for the 12-team playoff is pushed back to 2025 for college?
Why does it need to take them years to implement this?
Here's
Like,
because
the
SEC
NFL
SEC is paying them like buka bucks to like get this because they're constantly guaranteed a spot in it.
Well,
and
the
winning it.
NFL was like, we want to add another game to the schedule.
Yeah.
Boom, one
It's
year.
long.
The next year, they're like, boom. Why does this need to take 3 more years?
It shows how messed up right now the like
College football.
whole college
NCAA.
board is. It's
But,
seriously
I mean, they got back to March
screwed up.
Madness.
It's just seriously screwed up.
Let's get January
But,
Madness.
Let's go into something different. Let's go into some good news. Let's start
JJ.
with some
Eric Weddle.
people coming back here now. Yes, you heard me right. People are coming back. And you know what? You thought a season-ending injury was going to keep this guy away from playing with the Steelers.
Actually,
No, he's not.
2 people. Both coming back this week. We have JJ Watt and Juju Smith-Schuster. That's crazy. Both suffered season-ending injuries.
But
That's a good one.
Yeah, I know. I
One
mean, with the technology
more
today, they're not
time.
season-ending anymore. But here's also my
Juju
thought.
comes back for one more time with Ben. One more go around. one more playoff run.
Steelers and
with
Cardinals
Big
meet in
Ben.
the
Can
Super Bowl.
they do it?
This no. Here. Steelers and Cardinals meet in the
Okay.
Super Bowl. Just think about this. It'll be overpowered. Like everybody won't be even to look at the field because there'll be at least 3 watts of power on the field. There's gonna be DJ, there's gonna be TJ, and there's gonna be JJ. TJ, DJ, JJ in Cardinals
TJ.
versus Steelers Super Bowl. Take your pick. Will 2 brothers win versus 1?
It would be interesting.
Would be interesting. Then DJ and TJ could brag to JJ so hard.
Who would
When
I
they
like
win-
to
No, I'm
see
kidding.
in the Super Bowl? AFC side, obviously the Steelers, but if it's not the Steelers,
I have a feeling it might be
since the Raiders are out, I
think
feel like
Titans.
Tennessee or Buffalo would be
Yeah.
okay.
You know, Buffalo.
NFC
know what I'm
side of
thinking?
things, I would
I'm-
be okay with the Rams or the Cardinals. Either one of
See-
them. Like Packers would be okay too. I'm
Here's my theory.
somewhat okay with
So-
Packers.
If Steelers win, let's say Steelers win. This is hypothetically. Their hardest game will probably be that Kansas City Chiefs game because if
Well,
Buffalo
but they gotta
wins
play
versus Bengals, and
hypothetically.
they've already won versus Tennessee Titans. Now, credit that's out without Derrick Henry. They just gotta like add the Derrick Henry into there. But then once you accredited that, like this is Derrick Henry's first game back, so he's gonna be like, okay. I don't know if he
Patriots are gonna lose.
confirm back. Patriots are actually
Derrick
gonna lose.
Henry, they're getting snapped.
So
This
here,
is gonna be a blowout.
everybody, let's join in the conversation of is Mac Jones a really good quarterback? And the answer it
Wash.
points to no.
Washed.
Okay.
Everyone thought Belichick versus Brady in the Super Bowl.
No.
What a joke! Unless they
Josh
can
Allen
pull
was
off
just
the
like,
Brady-
Ah!
10 minutes left in the second quarter,
Here's my
and
theory. Here's
the
my
Bills
theory.
are about to go up 21 now.
Bills are
they're
going
close
to
to
go far into this thing. They might even go to the Super Bowl just because they now don't have to face.
Oh
and
my
now they're
gosh.
Josh Allen because
Josh Allen just broke 3 tackles.
Woo! Hey, at least we know. At least we know it's not Josh Allen versus Josh Allen because we know what's
You know-
going to happen. Josh Allen is going to win.
Hypothetically, the Steelers could play the 2 seed, the win seed, and then
The 3rd seed.
the 3 seed, or even
And-
the 4 seed technically.
And the thing is, here's the thing. First of all, a bad combination is Steelers being the underdog and Steelers always having away games in the playoffs. Just think about that combination right now. Now, everybody's thinking, Steelers don't deserve to be here. Me thinking they deserve to be here. Now they got to prove something. And that's when the Steelers get good, is when they have to play up the competition.
Okay, well, that's not always the case. No,
Not always the case, but
Many times, one that strikes me is possibly last year versus the
Yeah.
Browns, or maybe even 2017 versus the Jaguars.
where was that? Where was that? That was at
Both home.
Heinz Field.
He has an interesting factoid to bring up.
Because
that
I
didn't even
can,
know.
because you realize they lost very badly to the
Mhm.
Browns at what field? Heinz Field. They lost to the Jaguars. Where? At Heinz Field. They lost to anybody away. I know.
I think technically the last playoff win
2008.
was versus the Chiefs. 2018
Oh,
in the divisional round.
Hmm.
I believe.
So here's my theory. So we see this everything.
Maybe
So
six.
it's the start of a new century of Steelers football. And I think they're trying to repeat the 2008 season with a I shouldn't say crappy O-line, but a crappy O-line that doesn't know what they're doing yet.
James Harrison
And
DJ Watt.
has a person that is leaving, Jerome Bettis. Or which season was that? Was that 2005?
Ben is the new Bettis.
Ben is the new Bettis. The O-line is Najee Harris is gonna totally destroy Derrick Henry. Oh, sorry, they have to get through Patrick Mahomes, but let's just say TJ Watt's going to turn it up, and I'm going to go risky here, and he's going to get at least 2 sacks, maybe 3 in the game.
Oh,
I'm going to go risky. I'm going to say that TJ Watt gets at least 2 sacks.
no, yeah, that's risky, yeah.
Especially with that line. But watch this. They're just going to come in and they're going to be like, hey, but here's my thing, is a lot of people interpreted Ben's press conference so horribly. They're like, Ben's trying to give them the idea.
He's like,
that,
the media is basically, he's like, the media is saying this. So let's just have fun then. Why are we?
He's like, the media is saying this.
We
now,
should be,
every
right?
media is like, oh yeah, he's trying to throw off Kansas City. I'm like, no, he's not. He's literally accepting that they're the worst team in the playoffs, and that he's like, let's just go out there and have fun. We don't care anymore. On your
shoulder, really.
Ben's just like gonna be slinging it around. He doesn't care what happens. So they're gonna be playing.
Tell you what, either this Patriots team sucks this much, or the Bills just turned it on and are going to the freaking Super Bowl.
How about it's a bit of both?
How did they even get to this spot if they're not even?
So here's my theory. I think Bills can make it to the Super Bowl. They are a Super Bowl team. It's just it's every other time that they have to play the Patriots or somebody, they just kind of just check out sometimes, and then other times they're on it. Like the first game versus the Patriots, it was close, and the Patriots won. The second time, Bills won close.
Very underlooked these past throughout the season. Really, they've been really underlooked as a Super Bowl contention team. And
so if
I think they were my preseason pick over the Cardinals.
I have
win the Super Bowl.
Technically,
it's still
I believe I have Bills and Cardinals in the Super Bowl.
We both, and you had,
and I believe I had Bills winning.
Okay, then I had Cardinals winning.
Yeah, you had Cardinals. I had Bills. So if Bills and Cardinals make it to the Super Bowl and then again, Bills win, I will freaking just
Raiders
leave.
Versus the who?
Reynolds versus Cardinals.
Interesting. The Red Hot Raiders.
Hey, I have to say calls. Just calls in the first half. But also, I mean, I don't really care. I was just guessing. Like, I don't think you could have predicted the Bengals versus Raiders game. Like, I mean, you predicted Bengals, but well.
Belichick's about to throw something.
Okay, so let's get into a little bit of different news. Hockey. I'm tired of hockey. I'm tired of talking about football. So let's go into the NHL releasing the all-star rosters and captains revealed. Also, jersey revealed. Would you like to elaborate, Adam?
No.
Okay, so we are done with the podcast. Thank you guys for not watching. Oh,
thank you. We're done. Part 2 coming soon.
Coming soon.
I'm serious. Part 2 coming soon.
There's still more NFL. There's still more.
Okay,
I'm done with it.
Part 2.
Oh boy, Part 2 and NFL. But we do have to go over something. We have to.
You were actually serious. I downloaded the All-Star jerseys. Okay, we can use that for next time. Okay.
No, I'm not serious.
Let's have a part 2. Let's have a part 2.
Part 2. But we have to go over something before anything happens. And I would like to share my screen here. So we're gonna get into this. And we're gonna show
this is the MLS, right?
Yes, that is right. You are seeing this right. The MLS 2022 draft.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, you're questioning what is happening here. Well, as you can see, there is a new team. Yes, Charlotte FC is club. So they're the new club in MLS, and we're gonna go through these picks. I know absolutely nothing about anybody. Beautiful. So
now I like this guy from Duke, Thor Olfarsson. fourth pick in the draft, Thor Leifer Olferson.
Okay.
Son.
So let me annotate here. So I don't know
Please.
who this guy is. He's a midfielder. He's probably very good. He will probably bring some good attacking middle. But this is the one dude I want to talk about. Yes. Yeah.
The goalie.
Oh yes. This goalie for Indiana. How do I say this? Is probably the best right now in all of up and coming goalkeepers. Because this man literally probably took Indiana on their backs versus Penn State in one of the games to go in to the playoffs or to get in, and they went into penalty kicks and he saved crucial goals. He is probably the dude to watch. But as we go down here, we're seeing I want to just see where they're getting, and I think this is utterly like ludicrous to have a draft for the MLS. Like, why? But that's my thoughts. So as we can see, Dallas FC is looking for some striking power now. Same with Houston Dynamo, and it looks like defenders are defender with Austin FC trying to shore up that defense. Then FC Dallas again here with a defender. But as we can see, a lot of defenders going in this first round here. We got a few goalkeepers. We got a few forwards. Nothing like one midfielder. So that midfielder must be like epic. As we can see here, there's a couple midfielders. But we're just going over this. We're going over. We're looking through. We're seeing a lot of who they've chosen. There's a lot of defenders and midfielders coming out of here. I
didn't realize you can trade.
Yeah, you can trade. You can trade
picks.
Yes. I believe. Yep. Miami has 2 here. I believe DC had a couple. Houston Dynamo had a couple in the first one. I don't know if DC had a couple, but Charlotte FC has a forward. He's a iffy. Oh, what?
They passed?
What? You can do that? Oh, what?
Hold up.
What? Okay. So here's my stupidest team on earth. No, I'm kidding. But I think that's their why? Why would you pass? Okay, so before we end this, I would like to get a few thoughts on the draft. Me personally, I think the draft is utterly stupid because I'm feeling the only people that are going to come out of that draft that are going to be stars are going to be the goalkeepers, because goalkeepers are what USA can produce at large.
I am looking it up. It just says that they opted to pass.
No. I'm thoroughly confused why you would opt to pass when you can get an option that could maybe be good in the future. But my problem with US football, one is that you have to go to
cannot find an
college.
actual answer.
Yeah. You cannot find an answer. Okay. But my one thing is it like kind of forces you to have this mindset of like, I have to go to college in order to be noticed by teams in America, or like you have to go to club teams. Like there's this like sense in America that like not a talent, like one of the greatest stories I think is Messi, because Messi literally was just pulled off the side of a game, literally just pulled out to play a game and just gets pulled into the game and he just plays. Like, yeah, but my thing is USA is so hyped on the thing of, hey, if I pay this much money to get my kids around these good players, then they will become stars later on. And I think in soccer, USA will never upgrade to a football giant until they accept that, like, you're going to have to go and look at everybody, like every single person in like just regular high school or like just playing on the street, because those are the people that are going to be talented. There's people that don't have enough, but like have the like drive to use football, or okay, sorry, I'm using the word football for it, but use soccer as a like driving board to get out of their like situation. Like I think we miss like that opportunity in soccer, but we also miss the opportunity to see like some of the most talented players could be hidden in like this, and we're not even looking at them. And I think is just completely ludicrous from a like avid soccer watcher, avid football watcher.
Star Veteran.
But it's just
Part 2 coming
part 2,
to a
but
theater near you.
but
Just kidding.
I have to say
On YouTube.
the draft gives an idea to people that you have to go to college to get into a MLS team. It's
Not
kind of
necessarily.
drives that fact home. It's not driving the fact that you could go to an academy with the team. You could try out for the team when you feel like you're ready. You could do all this different stuff, like play.
We're
with the
talking
best
about
players.
American soccer, right?
Yes, we're talking about American soccer.
Okay, yeah. Like MLS type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Because I
but,
know in
like,
hockey,
yeah,
there are very few. Well, not very few, but they're not as much college players get drafted.
yeah.
Most of them go undrafted if they're even in the NHL. Most of the time, they go in like the OHL, the KHL.
Yeah.
You know.
But like with soccer though, we can't, like in the USA, we have this dynamic of, hey, college is the place to go. College is where you're gonna get it at. Club soccer is the best. Pay to play. Like some of these kids that are getting into like these top people that are probably like just average players. Now let's just say someone that doesn't pay and could be great, like better than these players, aren't paying like $1,000 to get on a club team. Like that's how much it is to stay on an actual club team. And a lot of people can't pay that. And to me, I think we need to have a discussion, or like we need to look at this and say, like, or have someone just have an idea of like, hey, how are we gonna fix this? Because I think it's completely ludicrous that like a lot of the club players are like so arrogant too. Like it's they show up to like
egotistic
things.
would be probably.
Yeah. And then it's like, and my one thing is for me playing high school, I think it was the fact that drove me away from like playing soccer as like in college or trying to play professionally, is that unless you weren't on a club team, you weren't really recognized as like a good player. Like you weren't like anything that you did like that was actually like fancy or like nice move or like a great thought, like you're a very good skilled thinker, was just overlooked because of it. Like the immense amount of pressure that was put on you to try to perform because you were not a club player was like stupidly ludicrous. But then you get a club player that just kind of shows up, just gets a spot on the team, which I like. I'm not gonna lie, like I understand that they're good, but they need to earn it like the rest of everybody. And like over my past years of playing soccer, those people didn't earn it at all, which I think people are gonna hear this and like yell at me for it, but it's like it's just a take that needs to be looked at and saying this is not the way we should be doing it. There should be a different way of doing it so that more people can get recognized and not just kind of like pushed to the side, if you know what I mean. Because it's like I feel like the people that are not in clubs are pushed to the side as you're not good because you're not in this club, or like you're not good because you're not in club soccer. And you kind of have to create a highlight video even to get noticed by scouts. Like
You got to get it out there too.
Yeah, and it's very tough. Like for me, when I first like started playing soccer, I was like, okay, I think I could do this. I think I can make it all the way. And then I was like, no, I can't. I'm like, it's almost impossible for me to go professional due to the fact that it's like these people are going to be noticed more than me. Like
Yeah.
And I think that,
I
like,
feel like if you put up the stats, that's when they start
Yeah.
looking though.
it's the stats, but the problem is
That's what really matters. Like goals
I
and
know, yeah.
assists. You're not
the
going to really
goals
get
and assists, but and like good
goaltending,
goalkeepers.
maybe. Yeah.
But with
Defenders, maybe not
defenders,
so much.
it's very tough because I know a stat is tackling, but like
Mhm.
with defenders and midfielders, you gotta like crack down. But like midfielders, you're
High
kind of
school level, I don't even think they count tackles.
they don't count tackles. So it's like
It's really just like goals mainly.
it's
Maybe assists.
goals, assists, shots
Okay.
on target, like not on target, but shots, uh, and then saves. And I think another stat is passes, but I don't think we count passes or tackles. Like
Mhm.
those are the two stats that if you put up, you could see the best players is stats and tackles. But like with defenders, and I say with defenders and a lot of wingers and stuff and a lot of midfielders, I think get left out on like good, solid players, like good thinkers, good workers, hard workers get left out on because I think they're pushed to the side. Like even when they do good and they're not in club, like our friend, actually did very well this season. He actually got recognition from like every single coach and ref. Like refs came up to him and said how good of a job he did. And he doesn't get recognition for playing that good. He just kind of gets pushed aside. And the dude that did okay this year just kind of was like, he's the all-star now. Like, yeah. So it's a little convoluted system. And I think unless you're either in a big school for soccer, like a big
name. Like I feel like once you get to like districts,
yeah,
you could have the worst players on your team and the best player in the world. And it's a team sport. So like you could have the best player in the world and not be
think
looked
about
because
it this way. Here's my thing.
on a
If
bad
the
team.
best player in the world doesn't have the mindset that he's the best and he wants to help his team, that team will go as far. Or like you have a group of like decent players, like let's say decent players don't have a club player on it, but they play well together. They play super well. They play together like constantly. They've touched the ball. They've constantly done it. They understand that this is a team effort. They're going to win it. The guy with the club team, the guy with that epic club team that doesn't want to play on the team will lose it. I think it creates a very toxic I think toxic is the best word. A toxic community in the USA, like high school sports system, like with soccer. I think it's overlooked too. I think it needs to be addressed. But that's just me. I mean, I know it probably sounds bad for me to do that, but like yeah.
And I'd hate to switch topics just all of a sudden.
Yeah, no.
But real quick, and we can go back. The referees for that touchdown for the Bengals released a statement saying the whistle was blown after he caught the ball.
No, it was blown before.
That's the referees released a statement saying that the whistle was blown after he caught the ball.
Okay. Yeah, but I think my thought is it's
comment down below if you think Nick would be a great coach.
I have to say it's a lot of stuff that needs to be looked upon. I think that will probably get noticed, but not enough. And I think
it doesn't really get that much attention
by a lot of people. But in saying that,
and really the main goal isn't for every kid
yeah,
in America to get famous on a Premier League
kid,
team.
Like actually enjoying, like it's not being like put on like immense pressure on like this group of kids for like you're not on club teams, but you got to be perfect because you're not on a club team. And then the club players kind of get the freedom to like express themselves in the game, and they don't get like the immense pressure. Because like I think my senior year, I had so much pressure on me to like do good. And I think that kind of just ate away at me because I was like, I don't want like, yeah. So yeah,
some people can handle it. Some people, it just depends on.
And I mean,
I think it like got to me because I had a ton of stuff that happened to during season health wise too. So I think that's what also really got to me was like I had all these health things and I had these like immense pressure on me. And I think it was just bad. It's just bad for like a player like that. Like I feel sorry for anybody that goes through you. I feel for you. Like I absolutely feel for you if you have gone through it. But yeah, I'm just
As someone who's gone through it himself, yes.
yeah, I feel like it needs to be looked over. I feel like as coaches need to notice it a little bit more, but I don't think good that's the
Mental
difference
health.
between a
Mental
good coach
health
and a bad
is
coach.
key.
Yeah. Like mental health is key, but I also think it's also like a lot of people preach like when you go to soccer stuff, like as a team and stuff, they preach team. But it's like a
It's
lot
the
of these
last
teams
thing
in
on
high
their
school
minds.
aren't teams, and it's very yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough topic to talk about because it's like it's a mess to
You
go
don't want to
through.
make anyone angry either.
Yeah, and I don't want to make anybody angry because it's like I understand you guys are good, but it's like this is the problem right now. We need to discuss this because this is a
Mhm.
problem. But like there's also this side of it where it's like you don't want to anger people because of this, but you kind of need to address it. So it's a very tough topic to talk about, but I will leave you with this question. What do you think? Like give us your feedback on like this because I want to know how everybody else feels about that because like and just any sport in general. Like give us your like thoughts on any sports in general like
if you
as
feel comfortable with sharing stories, we would
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yep. We'll keep you anonymous. Maybe if there's a couple, we'll read it. But thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to stay still strong. Please make sure always to cheer for the team that helps you out. And make sure to comment, like, subscribe. And we will see you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out. Oh, wait. Part 2?
Part 2
no,
coming
not
soon.
peace out. To be continued, my boys. Bye. See ya.